outdoor portraiture, what happens is, supposing if you are taking a picture of, you can see the very harsh sunlight falling. So we have to, yesterday I showed you the diffuser using the indoor lights with the diffuser. So there what happens, either you are using umbrellas to diffuse, or you are using soft box to diffuse. Now in the sun, though the cloud, if you get, it will be diffuser. But the thing is, in the cloud also you may get shadows under the nose or under the cheeks and everything. So this, again we are putting one more diffuser so that when there is a very bright light falling onto this will diffuse and give very even lighting. And this particular lighting inside here gives you very beautiful picture for your family portraitures, where you can shoot your sisters, brothers, parents, husband and wife, children, all those things. But the thing is, you should know what are the kind of poses you want. Suppose if you are seeing these harsh shadows, what it is creating here, you can see if there is no shadows, such kind of harsh shadows here. Now you can see very even lighting, everywhere it is the same even lighting. So this effect, sometimes you may not get it even in indoor flashlight, what we are using with the soft box. So this is the most ideal setup for portraiture photography for amateurs as well as semi-professionals. Okay. So that setup inside the studio is very good for professional setup, for a professional model, professional fashion photography, all those things. Outdoors, this is the best lighting. You can see the beautiful soft lighting that has been created. This is what you need. Now, the problem is in the exposure, because now you come here, you just see what is the exposure you are getting in this sunlight. Maybe about for 200 ISO f8, you may get around 60th or 5.6 or I think. For portraitures, can anybody tell what is the kind of what is the kind of exposure you have to set up for this lighting?
Probably around 200.
1/400 and approximate aperture and shutter speed. Approximate. No, ISO. I meant to say, you said 400, I thought ISO.
250.
Okay.
250.
250 shutter speed.
No, ISO.
ISO 250, okay.
But under
For that, how much you will get? Shutter speed. Around 60. And you want to use f8 or f11 or what you want to use? Aperture.
1.8.
Huh?
1.8.
1.8. Okay. Then?
But if the background is so close, I'll go with f7, f8, something like that, because it doesn't matter. You don't, depth of field is going to be immaterial in this case.
Okay,
Only thing, the depth of field, if you go too shallow, you might not get a very perfectly sharp image on the face. If you focus on the eye, the nose might not be a little...
Okay. Okay. I'll come to that point again later, because that's also important for portraiture, but I'll come to that point later. But now you have got a camera, you have set up ISO and shutter speed, aperture, you know to certain extent. But what is the lens that you are going to shoot for the portrait? The lens is very important. What is the lens? So what is the point in using a different focal length lens is, he has got 50 mm, somebody else also, Mr. Krishnamurthy, has got 50 mm. 50 mm is not for portraits. This you keep it in mind, because it is close towards the wide angle. So what happens, what is the quality of wide angle? It creates distortion. So when it creates distortion, it is used not for portraits at a close distance we are shooting. It is used for landscapes or buildings or anything. So next, the normal lens, that is the 50 mm, which is very close to wide angle. It will create distortion for the portraits, because in 105 or 180 mm we are at this level. For 50 mm you have to go to cover. When you go this close, the nose, the head and the chin, it slightly distorts. So he will not be recognized as Narendra.
Okay.
he will be something else. He may not like that. So the best lens, ideal lens for any portraitures is from 90 mm to 135 mm. So in that range, what happens? The distance between the forehead and the nose, the distance between the nose and the ears and the chin, the shoulders, everything will be 100% equivalent to the body anatomy of our structure, whomever you take. Supposing he has got the longer face. So I cannot use 135 mm or anything, I have to use 100 mm because I have to minimize the height. Supposing if Shama comes, she has got round face. So I cannot use 75 mm or anything because it widens. So I have to use 135 mm, I have to go back so that her face or anatomy of the face becomes perfect. So like that depends on the subject, on the face structure, you have to use the lenses. That is important. This is regarding the anatomy. Next, now for this lighting, if you are using 250, now here almost 1.5 steps it's under. So you increase to 400, up to 1200 you can shoot, don't worry. Okay. About the noise and other things, don't worry at all. Simply shoot at after 800 or anything like that. Now the question is, how much aperture you want to use. If you are using f8 or f11, you don't need that much depth. Why? Because for portraiture, we usually use only 5.6 or maximum f8. Even in fashion photography, we use only f8. That gives very large depth. And we don't need depth in portraiture because what happens, he has got a beard. So every hairs will be seen. The other girl, if you call any model, she may be having some flaws, some marks on this thing, or mole or anything. Everything will be seen in 5.6 itself. So the portraitures have to be very soft. It should not be sharp. And you don't give sharpening in your
Post-processing.
post-processing also. Okay. Because in portraitures, we make it more softer by introducing a filter called diffuser or the glamour filter. So that makes more glamoristic. Anybody, you can use it. It gives very glamoristic face and it enhances the portraiture. And you should not use it too much because the edges it blows out. Because in glamour it blows out the edges. You should not use it. It should be very little. So that is the reason we should not go for f8 or f11. Don't use 50 mm. Use 5.6 or f4. Don't go for 1.8 because if you focus the eye, the nose will be out of focus, but it will not be seen because our portraiture is only up to this much. So, shooting your family pictures, supposing he is alone, we can shoot vertical or horizontal. What if father and son are there? We want to take. We have to include little more. So that time you can use 5.6 or f8 so that both of them in good depth. So you have to focus only to the eye. Don't focus to the nose, mustache, nowhere. Eye. If you are taking pets, eye. If you are taking birds, eye. If you are taking animals, face. Because eye is very small for the animal, so face. Like that, you have to focus only to certain points, not here and there, wherever you want. Nothing like that. Now next is the poses. You can ask them to give any poses, but whoever is sitting, including Manju Mohan, whoever is sitting, or even Mr. Madhu Kakade, they are posing for you. You ask them to give different poses. If you know, you tell them. Otherwise, looking like this is just ordinary shot. Create some happiness in the picture. Particularly families, you create happiness. They should be happy. If they are smiling, some of the smiles are very good in broad smile. We call it broad smile when they laugh and show the teeth. Some people, without showing the teeth, if they just smile, this distance of the lips should be little more. Then it gives happiness in the face. The eye should be opened. Okay. So all these things you have to keep it in mind before shooting the portraitures. So as however they are sitting, if he is standing like this, I cannot shoot. See, he is smiling nicely. This is the time we have to shoot. So that is the kind of portraitures you have to do, and this is the best sort of lighting which for particularly portraiture, or if you want to frame it, this is the best light. And I think Madhu sir, if you take a lead in this organizing this thing, you please ask them to make at least 8x12 print whatever they have shot today, whomever you shoot. Supposing I am shooting Narendra today, I'll make a 8x12 print and give him as a token of affection from my side. I'll make a print and give. Kshama is taking my picture. She has to give me my 8x12 print. So you can post as many as you want, but giving pictures as a token of affection amongst the friends, we have to give and let us celebrate World Photography Day in a better way. Thank you so much.